I jumped into ChatGPT because I've been loving using it as a brain pal, if you will, to help me create what I call editorial calendars. Essentially, whenever I have a big chunk of writing to do and I have a deadline in mind, but I don't know how to get from point A to point B, I like sticking these things in chat. I've got a whole tab over here literally just called editorial calendar. So you can see I went into chat and I said, hey, I've got 7 chapters to finish. Here's the estimated word count. Here's the deadline. What's the schedule? It then spit out this lovely table. I like the logic that chat uses to do things like these because it's all pretty straightforward, but I think the tool recognizes that I'm only human and life gets in the way, and sometimes I miss a day. So you can see here, it's popped out a recommended writing schedule for March. Essentially, what this is saying is that I need to write a chapter every 2 days. Where you see these kind of bold titles here, if any of you are interested in hearing more about writing craft and how I think about my writing and plotting, happy to do a separate video. But essentially, these are called plot points or story beats. And I know those going in. I've got that in Scrivener already. It just helps me to know, because this chapter isn't actually chapter 1. I'm going to show you how I kind of took what chat gave me and then just cleaned it up a tad for myself. It also gave me midpoint climax, buffer days. It's baked in 3 days for me to do some polishing. So that's what we're working with here. That's all from chat. Then if I go to my Notion dashboard, I'm obsessed with Notion. If anybody wants a Notion walkthrough, wants me to just like pop in and go through my goals or my writing hub or even just my anime watch list, please comment down below. I would love nothing more. I use it all the time, clearly. So I've got a creative writing hub. And then down here, you can see I've created a separate page for what I'm calling sequence 3 and 4. If any of you are interested in learning more about the craft of writing, drop a comment. I'll make a separate video. I've just put in what chat told me, bolded the things that I thought were important. I copy pasted the table. You can do fun little color changes and highlights and stuff like that. So I did that. And then I added a column for myself just called type. I need to understand if I am repurposing something I've already written or if I need to use my creative brain to come up with something that I literally don't even have anywhere on any pages anywhere. Like it's just brand new content coming out of my brain. Notice there is a lot of add new scenes in the calendar and the schedule. I've got my work cut out for me, but essentially that's how I use ChatGPT to help me develop a calendar that I'm going to be following for the next 17 days so that I can write my 7 chapters, which is going to come out to be about 12,000 words, but we'll see. another day, another writing sprint. I'm actually kind of behind, but I still feel pretty confident that I'm going to be able to get my 12,000 words done in 2 weeks. We will be hustling for the next few days because I am traveling towards the end of the week. But I am not a influencer girly, but I'm excited to sit down and write because I am feeling my most comfy. Sweats are comfort. I've even got the green socks going. Can you see that? There's a iced matcha on the back of my shirt, and that matches with my socks. So if I'm gonna sit down and write for hours and hours and hours, I need a cozy vibe. Another day, another writing sprint. I know that red is not the cozy vibe. It's not a brown or a white or a neutral. I got a $1.25 lip pencil from the Dollar Tree, and it was called Scarlet. I wanted to try it today, and I put a little tear gloss on top. Once you've got a lip, man, there's no going back. So I was like, I can't wear a red lip and then wear something neutral. So then I found this red shirt. We've got the black pants, socks, slide. I'm gonna throw on that jacket and get some writing done. So again, not an influencer girly, but OOTD outfit of the day. I've got laundry going as we speak. Hopefully you can't like hear the washer dryer in the background, but I am also filming a spring clean with me. I might have mentioned this. Deep clean my entire home. Look out for that video coming soon. That is my laundry basket right back there. So be proud of me. Laundry is in progress. I'm going to take a break from all the chores and just make sure that I get my word count and my writing sprint in for today because we have like 3 days in the challenge. If I was not posting this video as a challenge and like having y'all to hold me accountable, I would have been done, given up on my 12,000 words by now because it was kind of aggressive. I don't know whose idea was this. So this is the fit, and let's get to it. See you over there.
pulled up all of the chapters I've been working on throughout this challenge, and you can see the associated word counts here on the screen. So what I'm going to do, real time, I'm going to take my calculator and add up these words, and we can find out together if I met the goal of 12,000 words. This chapter was 1783 plus 1806 plus 1260 plus 1635 plus 1436 plus 1944. And that's just for what is Act 2, Sequence 3. Just those scenes alone comes out to be a little bit less than 10,000 words. I'm going to add just the last two chapters that make up pre-midpoint and then the midpoint climax of my story. So to the 9,864 words, I'm going to also add 1934 plus 1352. Can I get a drum roll, please? We did it! 18,150 words. Woo! So I am super proud of myself. I obviously not only met the 12,000 word goal, but I surpassed it. That's super exciting. And this whole challenge definitely put me in a great spot just to be able to get ahead on my writing and to dedicate focused time and to be diligent about fitting in my writing sessions amidst my life, amidst having chores to do and my 9 to 5 and my social life and traveling and all of these things. I showed myself that it is possible to fit in my writing hobby with the rest of my life. Something else that I learned during this challenge, which I knew it already, I think intellectually, but in practice, I definitely noticed that revising a novel is not the same as writing one. Those are two completely different skills. In the same way that I talk about the YouTube experiment and the, filming and editing and storytelling skills that I would need to learn to be good at YouTube, revising is its own beast. It is very different. Somebody fact check if it uses a different part of your brain or not. Without structure, without a goal that I'm marching towards, without a challenge, without accountability, I'm not sure if I would have gotten all of these words in. I just don't know. I do a lot of revising and editing in my chapters. It's a part of the process for sure, but I would say there's a time to get your words on the page, especially because I'm rewriting some plot points that I didn't have before. But endlessly tweaking the same chapters or going back throughout the challenge to redo something that I did the previous day or the previous week was not helpful. I had to drop that real quick. It just didn't move my story forward. What helped me the most is breaking all of this down into manageable sprints. Some days I did 5 minutes. Some days I did 2 hours. Some days I didn't write at all. And I think that's okay. You've got to give yourself the grace to be able to fit in your hobbies into your regular schedule. If you've ever felt like you couldn't manage something that seems so big and overwhelming, that's the first thing I would recommend is try to break it down into smaller tasks. Just like I have y'all as my accountability buddies throughout this process, find your own accountability buddy, even if it's messaging Claude or chat GPT just to confirm and let somebody know that you've completed a part of whatever it is that you're working on. Just start small. Break it down into the smallest possible activity or action that you can take. And if you feel like doing more than that, awesome. Some days I really did feel like doing more than 25 minutes of writing. Some days I did get in a few hours. Some days I didn't. Some days I got less than a 25-minute sprint. Sometimes I could only do 10 minutes. One page, one sentence, one word. It sounds silly almost, but that's how you're going to build momentum. That's how you're going to build self-efficacy or trust in yourself. How you're going to build that feeling of like, I am somebody who does what I say I'm going to do, and I'm going to keep the promises that I make to myself, not just the promises that I make to other people. And I think that's really important to remember. I wasn't really sure how this challenge was going to go, to be honest. I wasn't sure if I could stick to a schedule like this. If you remember from just one of the vlogs I put in this video, I even told myself in the mirror that this was a really aggressive challenge. The challenge helped me to show up for my writing in a way that nothing else really would. So thank y'all for following along and helping me through the journey. I'm so excited and proud that we surpassed our 12,000 word goal and got up to 13,150 words. Woo! This momentum is something that I want to carry forward. I'm only at the midpoint in my story, so I do have a handful of plot points to go, but now I know that I can do it. I'm capable of hard things. I can fit in my passions amidst my daily life. and have that balance. Now, if you ask me if I would do this again, I guess we'll see. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep it cozy.